Hi guys, Poundland today. What do you think I got in mind? Got some black PVC tape and a couple more knitting needles, 5mm diameter. Obviously a rubber band powered car. Now, I could do this all with bits of cardboard and hot glue, but because I've got a 3D printer, we're going to go 3D printer instead. I need to make some hubs to go in the middle of here for the wheels, because these will be the wheels. And I'll also make a couple of spacers or brackets to go across here, so we can use these as the chassis rails, front to back. So I will go away and design them and 3D print them, and then we'll come back and see if it works. I'll use bicycle spokes for the axles, I think. So I'll have metal axles. Bicycle spokes are 2mm metal rods, which is why I like them, they're convenient. 4 wheels, 2 bicycle spokes, some 3D printed bits, and some knitting needles. Oh, and some rubber bands, obviously. Well, good morning guys. Bit of a failure here this morning. It's a shame. When I checked last night everything was going perfect. But when I got up this morning, these 2 bits, which were positioned in the middle, have obviously broken loose right at the end. Just about 5mm left at the top. So I would guess that one of them got pulled over and pulled the other one over and failed. All the rest of it's okay. So I'll just have to reprint those last 2 little bits. You'll be able to see it on the time-lapse camera. So we're not quite ready to assemble this. There we are, reprinted it using a raft to hold those bits upright. Nearly finished, 99%. That's got to be it. Yeah, there we go. So that was the bad boys that fell over. Let them cool down a bit and then we'll take them downstairs. Right, we're off out for our cup of coffee, but we'll just have a quick look before we go. So, bicycle spoke, the back axle and the front axle, so that's okay. I'll actually use that threaded bit just to give us a bit of extra grip in there, but the other sides I'll probably cut with a wire cutter just to put some ridges on it to help them grip in there, although I think they'll be good and tight. I've made another mistake with this. The wheels, I've actually made them a tiny bit looser than I intended them to be. I made them this, what's that, hexagonal, octagonal shape. So they've got ridges. The idea was that would dig into the cardboard inside as you pushed it in place. But they're actually a loose fit. And the fix to that will be to put a layer of tape around there and then push it in. But if I reprinted it, I'd reprint it about 1 millimetre bigger. Maybe even 2 millimetres bigger. So it digs in. But I think they'll make nice looking wheels anyway. So 4 wheels. The knitting needle, if you heat this plastic bit, I did that in a flame, it actually comes off quite easily. The only thing is, these are quite, well, they're aluminium, they're quite easy to bend if you grip them too hard. I actually put a bit of a bend in this as I was pushing it in there, testing it. Oh, these are the ones that failed. These will be the new ones. Need to trim the inside, just the mouth there, just so that will slide in. Once it's in, it'll be okay. There we go. It's just where you get that bit of an elephant's foot on the bottom when it's printing. So that works. Oh. They're actually designed so you can actually put the point in there as well. So yeah, I better stop because Nanny's waiting to go out shopping. But it looks like we'll get that together when we come back. Right, we've had our midday cup of coffee. Back to work now. I did put a bit of tape around the outside of the printed hub just to make it a tighter grip. That is annoying that I got that wrong, but obviously I could reprint that a little bit bigger and it'll be a nice tight fit. I've taken the top off the other needle so they fit nicely. There is one thing about doing this sort of setup, because you may have noticed I've done quite a few rubber band cars like this. If it's twisted slightly, like that, so only one wheel is touching the floor at the front, then it will turn. You need to try and make sure they are level, because if it's just touching on one wheel, it's like telling it to turn one way or the other. So if you're thinking of gluing them in place, you need to make sure it's nice and level before you glue it. And also these aluminium tubes, they will bend if you put a bit of weight on them, so that's another thing to think about. Okay, and then width wise, obviously we need it to be wide enough to go across there, plus the width of the other wheel, so we'll chop it off about here somewhere. Might need to file the rough edge over. That's going to go in there. It looks like we might need to give it a little gentle tap. Oh no, that's going in there. Right, now that's gone in there quite easily now. For the front wheels that really won't matter, but for the back wheels you do need it to grip. So I was saying something about using the cutters. Not trying to cut right through it, just cutting some little ridges into it. Cross hatching, I think you can call this. And that will actually help to grip the axle. And you can put some glue on it if you want to. What I should have done before I did that was slide that over. That's the hook for the rubber band to go on. And we need that to be in position. So I should have done that before I put that cross hatching on. I think it will go on anyway. And then we need to do a bit of cross hatching in the middle of the axle to help grip that. And probably a bit of glue. So yeah, did that in the wrong order. Learn by my mistakes. Yeah, so I need to put a bit of cross hatching there somewhere. And probably a bit of glue. Oh, these are too big. I'm going to have to use some smaller cutters to do that. So you're just trying to rough up the surface. And I should think a bit of glue will help there as well. Okay, a little bit of a gap for making sure they don't rub against the sides. Okay, I'll do the same at the other end, but we don't need the hook in the middle, and I will put a bit of glue on that just to help it grip. Kite string. Just an ordinary loop. And then we want it to be about that long. Okay. And then to join that to the rubber band, push that through, and push that through the loop. Slide it up, and there we are, joined on. And that goes over the hook. That works. Nanny's slippers. Summary time. A 4-pack of PVC tape from Poundland. 2 5mm knitting needles from Poundland. 3D printed parts, hubs and brackets or chassis cross members, and that little hook to go on the back there, and then bicycle spoke for the axles. Poundland rubber band, and actually probably the kite string from a Poundland kite. That's it. That one works rather nicely.